After end of year exams, you open the exam portal. You stare at the number 43% supplementary. High school, you barely studied. Distinctions. Undergrad, same story. Talent carried you through every time. But here, in CTA, on this postgrad journey, talent went quiet. The brain that used to save you now just watches you drown. If talent can't save you, what will? Today, once more, we are joined by Muhammad Ismail Yousuf, CASA, Assistant Manager at Harris and Trotter Digital Assets, and founder of the Pocket CA. We chat about the limits of talent on the road to CASA and the importance of applying effort that turns into skill. We also chat about why discipline is the edge, the scarcity of success in the specifics and abundance in the generals, turning towards a skills acquisition growth mindset, personality as a skill, why sometimes you need to lose your confidence, AI hallucinations in accounting and how to get around them, his idea of playing the character, and more. I hope you enjoy. My travelers on the road to CASA. Quick one. Before that, actually, just some news. I passed my IAC. Yep. Great news. We're moving there. It's about to begin. Oh, 3 years later, it'll begin. But we have ticked off an incredible milestone. So, great news. Our guest today has an incredible tool that's called the Pocket CA. If you need to save the semester or save the life, because actually it just will give you tips at any level. The Pocket CA is your tool. It is a CA in your pocket if you need to grok an idea or you need to understand concepts via application, doing questions. The Pocket CA is the tool to go. We chat about it in the episode. This is a bit of a disclaimer. We talked about this tool 2 years ago. So please keep in mind that there is incredible developments regarding it. Many new features to what we discussed. On top of what we discussed is definitely still there. But additionally, there's agentic AI, which has been a big new development for the Pocket CA. You can literally just chat with its agents, like the explain this concept agent if you need to understand a particular technical concept, the pre-lecture summary agent if you need a quick pre-lecture summary, the student-friendly breakdown of any topic before class starts. There's a mock exam generator. You can literally create a mock exam from scratch using the Pocket CA. You can actually solve a paper. So if you have like an old paper from 2015 and the solution for that paper hasn't been adapted to the modern day legislation or standards, you could just pop it into the Pocket CA and it'll solve it today. So there's a lot more that I haven't even shared. Linked in the show notes, the Pocket CA. You can get 3 days free and you can try out this tool to save the accounting life. If you have not already, check out part 1, also linked in the show notes. With that, on to part 2.
I have these extracts of some pieces that you've wrote because you're a brilliant writer that I want to read and I want to riff off of. I've picked my top 3 of the pieces that you've done, so I'm going to read them and then we'll dive into them. Here's the first one. The higher the level you're playing at, the more disciplined you need to be. This truth hits harder the further you go. At the start, it feels like momentum will carry you. Talent feels like a superpower. The wins come quickly and you think, I've got this. But then the stakes rise, the game shifts. It's no longer about just showing up. It's about showing up differently, consistently, relentlessly. Because here's the thing, at the highest levels, everyone is good. everyone is talented. What separates those who keep climbing from those who stall? Discipline. The kind that kicks in when the adrenaline fades, when no one's watching, when saying just this once is tempting, but you don't, when excuses knock, but you keep the door shut. Discipline isn't glamorous, but it's the edge. So when the level gets harder, when the pressure mounts, when you feel stretched so thin you could snap, remember, this is the proving ground. This is where you're shaped. And this is where you grow into the person who can handle the next level. The question is, will you? Whew, this one was fire.
You make it sound so good. I think it sounds so much better coming from
Dude,
you.
it
The
is
way you
good.
read it. The way you read it. Wow. Amazing.
Thanks, man.
This was extremely relatable for me in life in general, because the thing is, in school, I didn't have to try hard. It's not about being arrogant. It's not about being
Sure.
arrogant. I'm not trying to be arrogant. But
Many
it's just,
accounting students came from that. It's the truth.
right? And in school, like, I didn't have to try hard. It was, okay, if I study a little bit, I can still do just as well as everyone else. So why put in the extra effort? So talent is carrying you forward, momentum is carrying you forward, whatever the case is. Then life starts getting harder. Then you go to university, then you start articles, then you move abroad in an international firm, and everyone's playing at a different league. So different stages, I realized, okay, then I went into this mindset of, does this mean I'm not talented anymore?
Sure.
Okay, because why am I not performing at the same level? Back then, I required less effort. Now I'm requiring more effort. Does this mean I'm getting stupider? Does this mean I'm getting less competent? Does this mean I'm less talented? Then I realized, no, it's not that. It's just you've reached the level where now everyone's on the same level.
Yeah.
Right? So it's like if you had to take all the top achievers in every class and put them together in one class. Now all the top achievers are in the same class.
Yeah.
So it's not that then success doesn't become relative, you know? And if you always define success as a relative term, you will remain depressed because you'll be like, I am not as smart as everyone else in this class. Okay? You had to get a certain NQF level to get into the BAc degree, to the accounting science degree. Okay? But everyone in that degree is with that high NQF level. Right?
Yeah.
So it's not that anyone in that room is dumb. They all deserve to be there just like you do. But why is it more difficult now? Why aren't you first in the class anymore? Because although you were talented, someone is putting in more effort than you are. Someone is being more disciplined than you are. So it's not an element of, am I doing better or worse than others? It's, am I doing objectively? Am I comfortable to say that I am giving it my all? Whether I am feeling like it or not, whether my emotions are on a high or not. Am I showing up every day consistently to say, okay, you know what? This is what my goals are. Am I working towards them? Yes or no, period. It's not about talent anymore. Yes, talent got you this far, and yes, talent will get you further. But everyone at that level, once you get higher, everyone at that level, now everyone's a CASA.
Yep.
Okay? To become a CASA, you had to be smart. Okay?
Yep.
Now everyone's a CASA. Okay? How are you going to be a better CASA? Now everyone's playing at the same level. It's about, okay, now what takes you further? Everyone's talented. Now what takes you further? Oh, it's that discipline, it's that grit, it's that showing up consistently. It's about having that private victory with yourself to say, yes, I am someone who puts in the time, energy, and effort to get further. Success is not relative anymore for me. It's objective. It's not in comparison with someone else. Am I doing better or worse than others? No. It's about, okay, am I doing what is necessary to get the work done?
Sure. You know, it reminds me of this idea that a CA yesterday that I was chatting with. His name's Muhammad. He's the My
Yeah.
CA Hub guy. You know the
What
merch,
a
the My
legend.
CA Hub. Yeah. So cool. Such a cool guy. And he shared with me this one idea. I forgot who. It wasn't his idea, but basically, it's this idea around abundance and scarcity. In generals, there is abundance. In scarcity, in specifics, there's scarcity, right? So basically, if you aim to be top of the class, if that's your goal, right, then there is very little out there for you. When you aim to work hard, to do your best, there's actually so much more opportunity for you. You've actually got 24 hours every day to do your best. And so there's I feel like when we zoom out with these types of things like success and even happiness, but I think we'll talk about success in this context. There's so much more abundance when we don't get specific. And that's why I'm such a big believer around not being the best, but being the only. Because when you focus on what only you can give, there's endless opportunity to be successful and to win. Winning is a very scarce thing, because if you win a competition, you have to beat other people. Therefore, you have to do that rat racy climby thing. Beat them, get down. When you do that, then you're operating from a place of scarcity, and so that's how you act. You know, like you'll be politicking, and you do all those things that scarce-minded people do. But when you focus on what is the value that I bring, you literally have every day. You literally have that moment to write, to process, to go and see what are your values in this world. What is it that only you bring to a space? What do you like? What do you not like? It's like it's an infinite. It's a journey. It feels more like a journey. It's not this destination that winning becomes. And yeah, I think it was profound when you mentioned. I forgot the exact line that you said, but the line that came to my mind was, oh yes, it was when you said. I'm actually gonna go back to it. Dude, this piece, guys, go read it. I would love to have it even linked in the show notes. You need to have a place for all this stuff, but when you said the kind that kicks in when adrenaline fades, the kind of discipline that kicks in when adrenaline fades. And it got me thinking about this quote from this guy, Alex Hormozy. He said, when excitement ends, work begins. So when your talent got you into the room, that's where we start working. That's where the real journey starts. When you get the CASA, that's where it begins.
100%. 100%. By the way, I love Alex Hormozy. I love
He's cool.
his quotes. He's such a legend.
Yeah,
and he mentions a point about uncertainty. It's about being successful is putting in the work day in, day out, not knowing whether you'll get a final result out of it. Not getting immediate results. It's about putting in work and not getting a result. Putting in work, not getting a result. And then eventually, because you've put in so much work, you'll get a massive payout. But it's putting work day in, day out, but you're not getting an immediate result out of it.
Delayed gratification. But that's a whole topic for another day. The second piece, I love this one as well. You walk into the gym. It's your first day. You've never been here before, but there's this deep-rooted fire in you. I'm going to lift 100 kgs. You grab the bar, full of hope. You try. You can't. No worries. You come back tomorrow. You try again. You can't. Every day for a whole year, you show up. You try. You fail. It's demoralizing, frustrating. You start wondering if something's wrong with you. But let me ask you this. What if, instead of chasing the 100 kg on day 1, you started with 2 kgs? Just 2 kgs. The next week, 4 kgs. Then 8 kgs, 10 kgs. And week by week, you keep going, one step at a time. By the end of the year, that 100 kgs wouldn't just be manageable, it would feel light. We romanticize the end goal so much that we forget the power of starting small. You don't write a book in a day. You start with one paragraph. You don't build a career overnight. You start with one skill. You don't become successful just because you want it badly. You build the capacity for it bit by bit. Start small, stay consistent, and one day, the thing that felt impossible will be just another warm-up. It's not glamorous, but it works. I love that last line.
I'm a very firm believer of small, simple steps. And it boils down to fundamentally being patient with ourselves, right? And I'm guilty of this. So we were in university and you haven't studied for a couple of weeks now. And then the very next day, you want to smash an 8-hour study sesh. How can you do that? Right? And all of a sudden, the next day, you want to have the most ideal routine. You want to wake up at a certain time. You want to hit the study session at a certain time. You want to have lunch at a certain time. You want to have dinner at a certain time. You want to hit the gym at a certain time. All of a sudden, last couple of weeks, last couple of months, you haven't had a routine. All of a sudden, the next day, you want to have the ideal routine. I'm guilty of that.
Yeah, me too.
I think we are all guilty of that.
Yeah.
And that hits home. Okay? All of a sudden, the next day we want to be a changed person.
Yeah.
We're gonna be the most ideal version of ourselves tomorrow. But that's not how it works. Right? I think it goes down bit by bit. And I used to complain, I can't focus for 2 hours, or I can't focus for 3 hours at a time when I'm studying. So I was like, okay, let me get a stopwatch. Let me see how long can I actually focus for. Can I focus for 15 minutes? Okay, cool. That's a starting point. Let me focus for 15 minutes. And then tomorrow, I'll increase it to 30. Or the next study session, I'll increase it to 17 minutes. I'll increase it to 20 minutes. I'll increase it to 25 minutes. Why does it have to be that today, my focus capacity is 20 minutes, and then immediately tomorrow, I want it to be 3 hours? How? It won't work. It's the same. When it's something physical like lifting 100 kilos, then we can visualize that it's not going to be possible on day one. And we have to build that capacity. But when it comes to intangible items, and when it comes to intangible items like success or focus or behaviors, then we can't visualize that it's not an overnight game. It's a step-by-step game. So if you want to change your sleeping habit and you're currently sleeping at 12, all of a sudden tomorrow you can't sleep at 10. It doesn't work like that. Why don't you go to 11:45, then 11, then 10:45? Now in a week, you'll be sleeping at 10. But if you try to sleep at 10 the next night, you'll miss the mark, okay? You'll be frustrated with yourself. You'll be like, I can't even sleep on time,
Yeah.
And then you're going to keep on trying. And after a week, you'll just end up frustrated with yourself. On the contrary, the alternative approach is, okay, fine. This is the position I'm at. Where do I need to go? What's the simplest, easiest step I can take in that direction? And then you make it happen.
And you solve. And you solve
Then
for
you solve.
X. I love the
Yes.
way that you said in the piece, you don't build your dream career one night or overnight. You build it one skill at a time. I love that you said that, because I think we don't think of our career in terms of skills. Like everything you do is so that in building your career, in becoming a CA, is so that you are skilled. That's what you are becoming. You're becoming a skilled worker. You're becoming a skilled individual, a skilled person. And when you focus on the skills, you become the person who might have the specific career. And I think it's sort of it's a big red pill moment for me when I failed, when I realized as a CA, you're not getting paid to be a CA. You're getting paid for the 7 years of dealing with issues and solving problems that make you the skilled individual that they will pay for. And
100%.
I feel like when you're in school, it's all just knowledge acquisition instead of skills acquisition.
100%. I think skills are fundamental, and I think, I don't know, perhaps it was my upbringing or what, but we operate from a level of confinement, and we operate from a level of limited thinking where my intelligence is limited, my emotional intelligence is limited, my IQ is limited, and my EQ is limited. If I don't know how to deal with people, I'll never learn how to deal with people.
Sure.
If I'm not smart in school, I'll remain dumb. That's the place we operate from, okay? But then when you realize that something like emotional intelligence is also a skill,
Yeah.
right? You can train yourself to speak better. You can train yourself to understand nuances in a person's behavior and implement soft skills, right? I was extremely introverted. I wasn't able to speak to people. And now I'm going to networking events and speaking just fine.
Dude, I wouldn't have guessed,
And-
I really wouldn't have guessed that you're introverted, yeah.
Right? So I realized that, okay, what is the approach to becoming more comfortable in speaking? Okay, this is the steps you take. Everything is a skill. If you're lacking in any department, I would say, it takes time, it takes energy, and it's about building that skill set. But you build that skill set, and it's going to help you in your career. Emotional intelligence will help you in your career. Tangible skills will help you in your career. Taking courses will help you in your career. Whatever the thing is, if you have a vision for where you want to be, bit by bit, build those skills.
You know, I remember this one time I was chatting with some of my fellow students, and this one girl, I think we were talking about somewhere we got into this whole idea of personality. It's like, I just don't have personality. And I was like, it's another one of those, like limited belief situations. But I immediately now, thinking back to that time where she was like, I just don't have the personality, I think about Mark Zuckerberg. Have you seen Mark Zuckerberg today? Founder of Facebook. Goodness gracious. If you look at interviews with Mark Zuckerberg from just 10 years ago, and you look at his Instagram now, the guy is surfing in a suit. The guy is doing MMA. Whether that's the real him or not, I just really think it's for me, it was a profound lesson in the skill of even personality. I feel like this guy is skilled in being himself in public. Like, the guy has mastered it, I think, so well. Before, people used to make jokes of, like, I mean, they still make the joke because it's really funny, but he's a robot, he's he's leader of the lizard people, but when you listen to him now, you can't help but like him because he's really paid attention to the way he comes off, his speaking ability. I think he's literally learned how to smile. Mohammed, I like when I look at the the different marks, like, I think he's learned how to smile. So that whole limiting belief around personality, it is for me a load of garbage. Last piece that I have to read for you. Sometimes you need to lose your passion. I know it sounds crazy, but hear me out. I used to think passion was something you held on to fiercely. Like, if you lost it, you'd never get it back. Same with confidence. We chase them, cling to them, depend on them. But then I hit a point where I just lost it. the fire wasn't there, and the confidence, gone. And you know what? That's when I finally understood something powerful. Sometimes you have to lose your passion. You have to let go of your confidence. Not forever, just long enough to gain a deeper understanding of their true source. Once you know where they come from, you can tap into them more consciously rather than being at their mercy. Because once you know where they start, you can call them back on command. No more chasing, no more clinging. You learn how to create them from within anytime you need them. It's about not being dependent on them. It's about summoning them on command. The next time you feel like you've lost it, just know maybe it's the best thing that could happen, because you're not losing yourself. You're just finding out how to unlock yourself. Yeah, I love this one as well. Yeah, these are my three favorites. Yo, this one was powerful, man. Yeah.
Very, very relatable. Very, very
Mm.
relatable. Definitely a time when I lost my passion. I heard this quote once: wander off, get lost, and then find your way back. Right? It wasn't to do with confidence or anything of that sort, but it was just in general. If you wander off in the woods and then you find your way back, then you appreciate the journey. You appreciate the finding the way back part. Right? You appreciate where it all started. Once you find your way back, there's that coming to home moment, coming to appreciate moment. So why I say lose your confidence or lose your passion, not intentionally, if you have it, retain it, but it's sort of we almost become dependent on it, that, oh, I need my confidence to do well in this podcast. I need my confidence to be able to network with people. I need this passion for something to be able to express myself better. But if I understand where is that confidence coming from, then it's not I am feeling confident today, therefore I'll perform better. So you get out of the mindset of, oh, I am feeling confidence today, so I'll perform better, to becoming, it doesn't matter what I'm feeling today. I know that if I need the elevated level of confidence, I just need to tap into that space of mind, and it's there. Or my passion originates from this specific aspect of my life. It's understanding your why. It's when you know why you are confident, why you are passionate, then you sort of stop holding on to the confidence. Because I remember there was a time when I was introverted. I was holding on to this confidence, right? That I need to, I don't know, it's like, it felt like a physical thing I need to hold on to. But confidence doesn't feel like a tangible thing that I need to hold on to, where if I lose my confidence, it's gone. It's sort of, what headspace am I in? Okay. What am I feeling right now? And is there a certain version of me that I need to bring to this? Okay, that version of me requires me tapping into that headspace. Fine, I tap into that headspace, and here I am. You get what I'm saying?
It's a skill. It's a skill.
I would say it's learned behavior.
It's learned behaviors. It's like we're taking this thing in the air, like soft skills. I feel like we talk about soft skills, and I hate the way that we call them soft skills. Like, they're so important, but we talk about soft skills as these ethereal things, these like mystical, magical, confident. Like, it's really it's really not that in the air. It's like, I like Alex Hormozi's also version of confidence. It's just it's statistical confidence. It's like, what is the likelihood that I am going to succeed in this thing? That would be based on prior information. So, experience.
Right.
Have I done this thing before? What was the outcome? Was it a good outcome? If I did it 10 times, did I fail 8 times? Did I fail twice? And then once you have that, it means You just need to do this again and again and again until you can say, this actually works when I do it. So it's not this airy-fairy thing that comes out of nowhere. I think the confidence you're talking about, it's not the Hormozy one. He's a bit of a robot, that guy. I'm also not like that. I won't just go and do like 1,000 just to become confident. I think I can become confident with 10 reps. But in terms of the confidence that you've mentioned, what would you say is the source of your confidence?
Good question. Before we jump into that,
Cool.
I want to create a context for where this post originated from.
Please.
Okay, I was at a networking event. Okay, and I was speaking to someone, and I am super passionate about the Pocket CA. You can put me in front of anyone, and my eyes
We're gonna
will
chat about
glitter
that
because
now.
it's my baby.
Yeah.
Right, it's something I'm super passionate about. But I was speaking to someone, and I went blank. And I was like, is this something I'm really passionate about? I was thinking to myself, like, how did I go blank? I'm speaking about this thing all the time. Like, how am I not able to speak about it? Like, what's going on here? Right? So I went back to the drawing board. I journaled, right? I was like, okay, what's going on? So I understood that I need to understand fundamentally, there are going to be moments like that. But I need to understand, where is that passion originating from? What is the root of that passion? So whenever the passion is missing, it's not something I have to hold on to, that, oh, I need to hold on to my passion. It's sort of, fine, I'm not feeling so passionate right now. Let me remind myself where it originates from. That's where it originates from. Passion is a consequence. Fine, passion is there.
Let me just quickly make my way back.
Let me just quickly go
where's it?
back.
It's not this thing you have to clutch onto, because it's not. And I love the meandering quote that you mentioned, because these things are, I feel like there's a source to your confidence, but at the same time, there's also confidence within you. It's like a torch. When you're around this thing, when you're in this area, it's like when you're at home. You feel at home. You know everyone at home. But if you don't leave home, you don't really understand what your home is in relation to the world. And so what you do is you take your torch and you take the fire of your family and your home, and you leave the home in order to better understand the fire. But you've got this fire still. But over time, that fire might get extinguished. It might fade. And all you need to realize is that it's not that fire, if you don't keep it, it's not that fire is this thing that you either have or you don't. It's that you just need to go back, make your way back, and be like, oh, okay, let me quickly relight the torch. It's just about relighting the torch. That's all it is.
Perfect analogy. I think you summed it up perfectly. That essentially it's finding your way back.
It's just finding your way back.
You asked a question, what my confidence stems from. To be completely honest with you, I'm still on the journey of confidence. So I wouldn't say I have utmost confidence right now, but what I did notice, it stems from fundamentally two things, right? It's about reminding yourself that if you have done this in the past, or if you have done something even remotely similar to this in the past, what was the outcome, good or bad? Do you think you can manage it, yes or no? Right? And secondly, placing your trust in God. That's at the forefront of my entire journey the last couple of months, has been placing reliance on God, placing your trust in God. I think that's at the forefront of everything I do in life. So it doesn't absolve me of my responsibility, okay? I still have to go out there and do the work. But then there's a very important aspect in my life of placing reliance in God, and I think that's where confidence comes from.
I love, man, I want to commend you for the vulnerability and just the truth that you're still on the journey. But what I love about that perspective is you are you come off as a confident individual, and you are a confident individual, but also there's the appreciation and the self-awareness that it's a journey. It actually isn't a destination. And I feel like, yeah, people love to think of confidence as this: you either have it or you don't. So you like catch onto it, or when you don't have it, you're like, no, I don't have it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. So that was the mindset I had to break free from, to say, okay, I don't have to clutch onto it. I don't have to, it's not a destination, it's a journey. And, I'll eventually get higher in the journey, but it's
Mm.
element of continuous improvement. There's no perfection. There's no perfect confidence. What does perfect confidence look like?
Okay, let me think. I don't know. So AI,
Mhm.
I wanna turn to this AI thing. And I saw this interesting. I heard this interesting idea around it, but I've done my research on AI. I'm a bit of an enthusiast when it came about. I jumped on that train and learned a lot about it. I read up on it all the time. There's this thing called hallucinations, which
Mhm.
is, yeah, as you know, it's when basically AI lies. It lies to look cool. You'll say like, is the sky blue? And then they'll be like, yes. JK, it's actually green right now. Is it green? And then they'll be like, yeah, because you said it's green. Like, it'll literally just lie. It'll just lie to your face. And that's what it can do when you ask it accounting advice. When you ask it,
Mhm.
what do I do in this case? It's going to give you some answer that's not necessarily the right answer. And I feel like that's why the accounting programs ban us from using ChatGPT, because I think it's such a tough thing to navigate. But
Mhm.
now here's the Pocket CA, which is essentially ChatGPT but a CA. If you just made ChatGPT a CA, why
Yeah.
is it different to ChatGPT, and what is it?
Yes. Okay, so I'll try to say this without revealing too much proprietary information.
Please,
Right.
please, thank you.
So, mentioning hallucinations, I think that's the biggest risk when it comes to Gen AI and tools like ChatGPT, where it's going to present you information seemingly true, and it's going to present false information in such a way where you think it's true.
Mm,
That's the scariest part. It doesn't
mm,
just give you false information, but it gives you false information in such a way
mm,
that you think it's correct.
mm,
So, I was using it and I realized I can't rely on it,
mm.
especially when it comes to principles, rules based professions such as accounting, with a certain sets of rules that have to be applied. But at the same time, generative AI can help us in applying those rules to scenarios.
Yes.
But now, how do we find that, that element of reliability and reducing that risk? So that's where the idea of essentially the Pocket CA came in.
Mm,
And it was making sure that we are creating our own LLM where it's not going anywhere. So you know exactly where the information is coming from. It's not coming from the internet. It's not coming from data sets that we have not properly authorized. So it's trained on the standards.
mm,
So it's not trained on any other information. It's trained on the standards. So that means the answer is coming directly from the standards. It's not coming from the
mm,
internet. It's not coming
mm,
from any other source. It's coming directly from the standards,
mm,
which reduces the hallucination aspect, which
mm.
reduces that risk significantly. Because now, if you say, if a parent company issues shares to subsidiary companies' employees, it's going to know. You don't have to say it's IFRS 2, by the way.
Mm, mm,
It's if you just put that scenario in, it's going to say, okay, based on IFRS 2 paragraph da da da, this is how it's applied.
hmm, hmm,
And then you ask it what will be the journal entries, and it's going to tell you the journal entries. So it's, yeah, essentially that's what it is. you could ask it literally any accounting, any auditing, any tax, any finance, any ESG question, any corporate
Mm.
governance question,
Mm.
and it's going to give you an answer which is sourced directly from the authorized standards.
Mm.
If you put a board committee into it and say these are the committee members, these are the board members, apply King 4, it's going to say according to King 4 practice this principle, this is not in compliance, or this is in compliance, this is how you can improve,
Mm.
right?
Mm.
So essentially that's what it is, and that's how we have reduced the hallucination factor.
Mm. So as a student, how best can I use this? Because I think a lot of maybe the apprehension might be just that I don't know how to use LLMs, these large language models. I don't know how to prompt ChatGPT. Like, how would you advise me as a student to use this, and how can it help me?
I love that question, and I love you mentioning I don't know how to prompt, and I don't know what prompts to put into ChatGPT or what LLMs can do and all that. We've dumbed it down. I know we don't need to dumb down because CAs are smart. Every CA student is smart,
Yeah, yeah.
but we've dumbed it down to the extent where you don't have to put a prompt. You literally can speak any language, not any language as in whatever form. So say, okay, there's a few things that it can assist you with in your studies. Number one, if there is a concept that you are not understanding, okay? For instance, lease accounting.
Mm.
Lease accounting for lessors, lease accounting for lessees. Say, okay, can you please explain lease accounting to me? Simple. And it knows that it needs to go to IFRS 16. It knows that it needs to take into account initial measurement, recognition, subsequent measurement, disclosure. It knows that.
Mm.
It's going to tell you lease accounting. These are the main concepts that you need to know. Then you say, okay, within these concepts, this is something I don't understand. It's going to say, okay, fine. This is how you apply it.
Mm. Mm.
That's number one. I think for summarizing, better understanding concepts wins. Then we move on to document upload feature.
Oh,
And that is going crazy right
wow.
now.
That sounds useful. Okay. So document
Very
upload
useful.
feature. I'm guessing you upload. I've got this question, this example, let's say, and it's an example that I don't yet understand. I upload it. Then what do I do?
Two things you can do: upload it, ask it to explain it better to you, which is the very core basis of it. Secondly, you can tell it to answer the questions for you. Okay, so you understand what the model answers would be. Now remember, question banks, you can do question banks from 5 years ago, but you can't. But those answers have changed because the standards have changed, the tax laws have been updated. So now there's an issue that I need to do 5 years of question banks, but where do I get the right answers from? Okay, how do I know whether the answer within the question bank is now the right answer because the dividend withholding tax rate has changed, for instance? Right? So now you upload a question bank. It's going to pick up. You don't even have to say what the answers are. It's going to pick up what the questions are. Okay? And it's going to tell you, okay, do you need answers for the following questions? So it picks up, because we've trained it on how a CTA student would answer, it picks up what is the case, what is the scenario, and what is the required. So if your document only has a scenario, then it's not going to pick up the required. If your document has a scenario and a required, it's going to pick up what the required is. So we've made it that smart for you. You don't have to prompt it. There's no prompt required, right?
Yeah.
If you don't know what to ask it, just ask it anything. Then, if that's not impressive enough, we've gone a step further. We have assessor mode.
Assessor mode. Okay. That sounds interesting.
And this is what assessor mode does. You upload a question bank, okay? You click on assessor mode. It's going to tell you to upload your answer. So I'm doing a question bank, okay? I've done the question bank. I've uploaded the main question bank. I've clicked on assessor mode and I've uploaded my answers. And then I've asked the Pocket CA to tell me where are the gaps in my learning, essentially. Because what it's going to do is it's going to match the model answers to your answers and say, what did you miss? If you missed King 4 Principle 17 or King 4 Principle 4, whatever the case is, it's going to say you could have applied the following things as well. Basic example, King 4 is the easiest example to say, but as a very basic example, think of it that way. So I think this is a gold mine for accounting students because I remember back in my day, not that it was too long ago, back when I was studying, but so for instance, if I didn't understand a concept, I would go on Google and I would search, you know, IFRS 9, financial assets, what are the different ways of recognizing it? And there's a list of all the websites and which website do I click on, which one has more information, which one has less information, how does it relate to which paragraph? It's like too much information. Also, which ones do I rely on, which ones I don't? Some are from South Africa, some are from overseas, all that stuff. What this will do is you say, can you please explain to me how financial assets are recognized? Don't even say IFRS 9. It knows that it's IFRS 9.
Yeah.
Okay, it's going to say, okay, financial assets are recognized based on 3 models, A, B, C. Okay, then you're going to say, okay, I don't understand the amortized cost model. Can you please explain? It's going to explain it to you. Right? If I don't understand the VAT implications of leases versus installment credit agreements, which is what I struggle with when I was studying, okay, that's a technical thing. So ask it to do that. It's going to explain to you. VAT on leases is recognized as a monthly thing. VAT on installment credit agreements is calculated differently. Within installment credit agreements, there's 2 kinds: installment sale agreement, installment lease agreement. Right? What are the tax consequences of this? You could say, what is the deferred tax consequences of a specific transaction? Now remember, it's trained on the income tax and it's trained on IFRS. So it knows what the income tax implications would be and therefore can tell you what the deferred tax consequences are.
Sure. That sounds crazy. Because deferred tax, Muhammad, that's some of our like, some of us are shaking at the knees when you say such words, deferred tax. Like, so you're telling me this thing can help me? The problem is, okay, I thought about this as well. What jurisdictions is it trained on as well? Because income tax in South Africa is not the same as income tax in London.
Very good question you ask. And you are, I think, the first person that I'm telling this, but be it as it may, early Jan, we are launching a region selector feature.
Oh my gosh.
So you select the region. You could be in the UK, you could be in the US, you could be in South Africa, you could be in Australia, you could be in India. It could be anywhere, right?
Sure.
You select that region. So if I am sitting in the UK, I'll select United Kingdom, and then it's going to bring me answers from the Income Tax Act of the UK.
Sure.
It's going to bring me answers from the adapted IFRS standards for the UK.
Sure.
So you could, and I know for South African students that is not very a great feature, but it's a great feature for our international students. And it's a great feature for accountancy firms that have clients in the US, in the UK, or in different parts of the world. If they want to know what the accounting or the tax implications of a certain transaction are for their UK client, instead of going on Google, instead of doing hours of research, it slimmed it down into ask the Pocket CA.
Sure. That's phenomenal, man. I think that's incredible. And I can't wait to use it. So That'll definitely be linked in the show notes for anyone who wants to go and try out. Oh yeah, I forgot. Mohammed, it sounds like a great tool, but as students, we don't really have a lot of money. So how much does it cost?
So my entire intention, whether someone believes it or not, it's not about me being humble. It's about creating impact. It's about having a positive impact within the accounting space, making the accounting students and the accounting professionals' lives easier, right? So right now it's actually free sign up. Okay, we free sign up, but obviously to we will introduce a paywall because we have to manage our costs for the AI and our other algorithms as well. So we will keep it very. It's not much. I would say it's 99 rands a month. I think that's very manageable even for students. So our main aspect for that pricing, the main decision making for that pricing was, will students be able to afford it? Because we need to help students out. We want students to better understand concepts, to easily understand concepts, to have the right resource in their hands to better prepare for tests and exams, right? And so to assist universities, and it's not eliminating the aspect of the importance of universities or teachers or lecturers or tutors for that matter. In fact, we had a lecturer from Northwest University, and she reached out and she mentioned that before what she does is if students have a question, she has asked them to ask the Pocket CA first, and then come to her with tailored questions. So it's helping students, it's helping lecturers, it's helping tutors, because now it's a resource that everyone can use to gain a better understanding of the accountancy rules and principles. And yeah, I know ChatGPT is what? It's 20 pounds, so that converts to about 450 rands.
Yeah, it's expensive.
Right? It's expensive, but our main goal with this is not to make money. Our main goal here is to help, to have an impact. Impact is at the forefront of what we do. So which was the decision behind the pricing.
I love it, man. I think 100 rand a month, guys. Sign up free. So how long is there a free trial or?
Right now we have made it free for all users until we implement the paywall.
Cool. So guys, like milk it now. Go and make sure that you chow the Pocket CA until obviously they need to make this a sustainable enterprise. Triple bottom line, triple profit planet people 100%. At the end of the day. But that will be linked in the show notes. I actually wanted to pivot into this idea, which I think is just phenomenal and really such a life-changing idea of owning your own character, of being the character that you want to be. What is that idea? And yeah, playing the character. What is it?
It's still that's definitely still a work in progress, right? But at the core of what the idea is every single one of us has an ideal version of ourselves in our heads, in our minds, right? It's this ideal version that I want to become, right? And where we are right now and where we want to be feels like such a stretch. Like, will we ever be that version of ourselves? What if for a moment you stepped out of your current character, stepped out of it mentally, and just stepped into playing the character of this ideal version? So you accepting that yes, you're not that, fine, but you can play the character. It's like, you know how certain actors just step into the character. There's an important thing. It's like what distinguishes successful actors from unsuccessful actors. It's how well they tap into the character. Right? You can see some of them step into the character. They play the character so well. Okay, And we have this, it's very daunting. I think in my life, this is something I experience, which is why this is a concept I'm working on is, and I'm writing a book on this essentially. And so what it is it becomes so daunting to change yourself. You wake up in the morning feeling depressed or like a failure or incompetent or worthless or invaluable, and you're stuck in this version of yourself.
Mm.
And you know that there's this future version of me that's waiting for me, this ideal version that I want to be. But going from where I am to where I want to be feels like a very difficult journey. Like, how do I ever get there? Like, will I ever get there?
Mm.
It's so much effort. But what if I say, it's okay, yes, it's effort. Just accept that this is your current version and I can play the character for a little while. So
Mm.
I don't have to be the ideal version overnight, but for 15 minutes today, I can play what my ideal version would be.
Mm.
I can play the character of my ideal version for 15 minutes today, for half an hour today. What decisions would my ideal version make? Would my ideal version do certain things? For 30 minutes a day, I will, uh, you know, play that character. All you're doing is playing that character. And
Mm.
it boils down to small, simple steps that we spoke about earlier. You start playing that character, you start feeling comfortable in that new character.
Mm. Mm.
And once you start feeling comfortable in that new character, that becomes your new identity. And the more you play the character, the more you drift away from your old character and start tapping into your new character. And that new character becomes your natural habitat, if I may.
Mm. Mm. The the immediate doubt that I felt, like if I'm someone who is playing this character, which is me today, which is worthless, which is not worthy, which is all these things, failure, right? Whatever. Imposter syndrome, no, it's not for me.
Uh-huh.
How does one exit that mold? You're talking about 15 minutes a day of playing the character. But what about the other people that want, or rather, what about the other people that when you exit your mold and you play the character, they tell you, dude, that's not you. Be you again. Like, what do you say to, like, how do we deal with that? Because there's, your parents, they
Mhm.
don't know this character. And so when you start acting outward, when you start playing the character, they might say, who is this? Don't do that. Be yourself, How do we deal
Mhm.
with that?
I think that's very important, and that's, I think, a very that is the risk when it comes to playing the character, because there's always
Mm,
people who know the old version of you that are dragging you back into that old version of you.
yeah.
But I think if you truly believe in this new version of yourself, in this ideal version of yourself, criticism is everywhere. Everywhere,
Mm,
sorry, criticism is
mm,
everywhere.
mm,
That is the price you have to pay.
mm,
Criticism
mm,
is the price you have to pay in playing the character.
mm,
It might not relate to everyone. It might not be something that would be beneficial for everyone or anyone for that matter. But what I have noticed to get me out of my headspace into a functioning headspace, that, yeah, for me to have that transition, I follow this approach and it
mm,
worked for me.
mm,
And I don't know how many people it could work for. So I'm just putting it out there.
I think it's a really interesting one, and that's why I wanted you to wanted you to explain it, because I love the idea. We live in these molds, and when I thought about how there might be people who react to you exiting your shell, getting out of your shell, out of your mold, I started to think about how the reason why those people want you to get back in your mold, it's not because they don't like you, it's not because they hate you. It's that there's this sort of law of rejection that I've thought about of the world. There's a law of no. That's the default disposition of the world. And it's meant to be like that because the likelihood that being this different way is going to be successful is it's not likely. It's actually likely to fail. Most things are likely to fail. That business is likely to fail. That relationship, it's likely to fail. That diet is likely to fail. But what playing the character really helps with is giving the success that little chance, a little consideration. Maybe it can survive, and I love your small, simple steps philosophy. I think it's a philosophy, and I really do back it so much because it's about that. Just 15 minutes. Just try it. Just dip your
Yeah.
toes. Like you don't have to be the character all day. 15 minutes it's very much risk adjusted. Like your family's probably not going to like chastise you and be like, who is this person? Because it was only 15 minutes of the day, so they they might not even notice. I love it. I just love the
Yeah.
idea.
And you know what makes it, I think, what helped me was it's very daunting to change your current self into this new person. Because I feel like I'm so set in my ways. I have these behaviors. I have good habits. I have bad habits. How do I change my bad habits into these good habits? I have this ideal version of myself. Now, here's the thing. You're not changing your current self into that future self. You're not changing anything.
Yeah,
You have this current self and you have this idea of this future character of you, and you're just playing. You're just putting yourself in that character for a few minutes and seeing how it feels. Does it feel, oh shit, this feels good,
yeah, yeah.
right? When I do these habits, it feels good. Okay, but I'm tired now. Let me step into my old habits. It's fine. Step into your old habits, but know that that feels good. And then you just keep on tapping into that character. And the more you do it, you see yourself drifting away slowly, steadily, consistently into that new version.
No, I love it, man. I love it, man. Play the character, guys. Play the character. Muhammad, to close, if you could go back to first year, second year, maybe even high school Muhammad, what
Yeah.
would you tell him?
What I would tell him, believe in yourself.
Hmm.
Believe in yourself.
Hmm.
And be patient with yourself. It's all going to work out. Believe in yourself and be patient with yourself. It's all going to work out.
Believe in yourself. You're worth the belief. You have everything in you, and it's going to come out. It will become. And have patience. Guys, if you have not already, please tell us a belief. Follow this. Subscribe, because this is also going to be a video. Yo, guys, this was absolutely fantastic. It was phenomenal. Again, the Pocket CA is linked in the show notes. Go and use it as the tool to ensure that you become the competent professional that you are destined to be. I hope that it does not end, but that it begins in CASA. Muhammad, thank you so much, man.
It's been an absolute pleasure. I'm truly honored.